Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're taking a closer look at CCC Intelligent Solutions Holdings, ticker CCCS. You sent over a bunch of info, and well, our job is to sort through it and figure out what really matters for you right now. We'll dig into recent news, where the company sits in the market, and maybe some things that could shape its future.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot happening with them. It's quite a bit to unpack. You've got this proposed secondary offering, 42 million shares. That's pretty significant.
Right.
Then their Q1 2025 results are coming up soon, May 6th, plus a conference call.
Okay.
And Caliber Collision just extended their partnership, which is, a good sign. Oh, and they also put out this crash course report for Q1 looking at vehicle trends and how that affects claims.
Interesting. So quite a bit going on.
Definitely suggests they're busy interacting a lot with their market.
Okay, let's start with that secondary offering. 42 million shares. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
What should you be thinking about when you see something like that?
Well, the first question is always why, right? Why are they, or maybe existing shareholders, selling? Often it's about raising cash, maybe for acquisitions, maybe R&D, investing back into the platform. That's the positive spin.
Okay.
But, sometimes just increasing the supply of shares like that can push the price down, at least temporarily. Dilution concerns.
Right, supply and demand.
Exactly. So that upcoming earnings call, that'll be really key to hear their reasoning, what they plan to do with the funds, if it is the company raising capital.
Makes sense. And speaking of that call, May 6th for the Q1 2025 results seems like a date to watch. What specifically should people be listening for in that report?
Yeah, definitely circle that date. For a SaaS company like this, you always look at revenue growth, obviously.
Sure.
But I'd also pay attention to where the growth is coming from. There are different segments, insurance solutions, repair, the ecosystem tools is one area pulling more weight.
Good point.
And any commentary on how quickly customers are adopting their AI stuff, that's important. Plus their outlook, their forecast for the rest of the year, that tells you about their confidence level.
Okay, got it. Now, this news about Caliber Collision extending their relationship, that feels like a pretty strong vote of confidence, doesn't it, given how big Caliber is in the repair world?
Oh, absolutely. It's strong validation. Caliber is, like you said, a major player. Them deciding to stick with CCCS, it really highlights how embedded CCCS is in that P&C insurance ecosystem. Think about the network effect. When a big player like Caliber uses the platform, it makes it more valuable, maybe even necessary for others to join too. Insurers, suppliers.
Right, it pulls others in.
Precisely.
And this crash course report they put out, analyzing vehicle trends and repair impacts, what's the value there? Is it just marketing or?
I think it's more than that. It shows they have a really deep understanding of the underlying industry dynamics. They're looking at, how cars are getting more complex, more electronics, EVs, that kind of thing.
Right, ADS systems and all that.
Exactly. And analyzing how that changes, accident patterns, repair costs, claim complexity. For someone following the company, it gives you insight into the forces driving their business long term. It shows they're thinking strategically.
Okay, so let's pull back a bit. Remind us what CCCS actually does. You mentioned this SaaS platform connecting everyone in the P&C insurance world, like a central nervous system.
That's a pretty good analogy, yeah. They sit in the middle, connecting insurers, repair shops, car makers, parts suppliers, the whole chain. And their platform uses AI, artificial intelligence, in its workflows. The goal is to make handling claims smoother, faster, more efficient.
And claims can be incredibly messy, right? Lots of steps.
Oh, absolutely. From the first notice of loss, through assessment, estimating repairs, finding parts, payments. It's complex. CCCS aims to digitize and automate a lot of that, reduce the friction points.
And their solutions cover a lot of ground. You mentioned insurance claims handling, but also things like subrogation. What's that again?
Subrogation is basically when the insurance company tries to recover the money they paid out on a claim from the party who is actually at fault.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so they have tools for that, casualty management for liability claims, estimating tools for the repair shops, network management, even parts procurement systems.
Wow, okay, so it really is end-to-end in many ways.
It's very comprehensive. And that reach, touching so many parts of the process and so many different players, that's a big part of their strength. Plus, they've been around since 1980. That's a long time in the tech world. Suggests they know how to adapt.
Definitely. So, thinking of their market position, the whole P&C insurance industry is going through big tech changes, right? Moving to cloud, using more data.
It really is. There's huge pressure to modernize. Customers expect digital experiences now, like in banking or retail.
Yeah, no one wants paper forms anymore.
Exactly. And insurers need efficiency gains. CCCS, being cloud-based and focused on AI early on, seems well-positioned to ride that wave.
And they connect, what was it, over 35,000 businesses?
Yeah, that's the number cited. It shows the scale of their network. That's a significant footprint in the industry.
Okay, but they must have competitors. The notes mention Guidewire, Mitchell International, Duck Creek. How does CCCS stand out?
Right, it's not like they have the market entirely to themselves, but each competitor seems to have a slightly different focus. Guidewire historically was more about the core systems inside the insurance company, like policy admin, billing, the back office.
Yeah.
Mitchell is known for being strong in collision repair, integrating tightly with the body shops. And Duck Creek, they're also a SaaS player, kind of similar model. But the info suggests CCCS might have stronger ties with the actual car manufacturers, the OEMs.
And why is that important, the OEM connection?
Well, think about how complex cars are getting. ADAS, sensors, specific repair procedures for EVs. Having direct integrations and data feeds from the manufacturers for diagnostics and repair info is becoming crucial. CCCS seems strong there.
Got it. Okay, let's touch on the financials. Revenue for the last year, nearly $945 million. That SaaS model probably means a lot of that is recurring, right? Predictable income.
That's the typical appeal of a SaaS business, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Predictable, recurring revenue streams are generally viewed very positively by investors. Provides stability.
The earnings per share look pretty low, 4 cents TTM, on almost $1 billion in revenue.
Yeah, that's the flip side. It shows that while revenue is substantial, profitability relative to that revenue is still quite modest. Margins might be thin, or they might be investing heavily back into growth.
Which brings us to that PE ratio. You mentioned it earlier, over 226.
Mm-hmm.
That seems really high, especially compared to the software sector average. What's going on there?
It's definitely elevated. A PE that high usually signals that the market has baked in very high expectations for future earnings growth.
So investors are betting on big profit increases down the line.
Essentially, yes. They're paying a premium now based on the potential for future performance. Of course, that also means there's a risk. If that growth doesn't materialize as quickly or strongly as expected, the stock could be seen as overvalued.
Right. High expectations mean more pressure to deliver.
Absolutely. That's why the upcoming Q1 report and their guidance will be so closely watched.
On a slightly more reassuring note, their debt-to-equity ratio looks relatively low, around 39.5%.
Yeah. Compared to the software sector median, that's fairly conservative. Suggests they haven't taken on a huge amount of debt relative to their equity base, which can be seen as a positive sign of financial health.
Okay, so summing up the pros and cons. Strengths seem to be that established position, the AI cloud focus, the network effect.
Definitely. They're a known quantity, technologically advanced for the sector, and benefit from having so many users on the platform.
But the risks. You mentioned the auto insurance market can be cyclical. Fewer claims if the economy slows down.
That's a potential headwind, yes. Fewer accidents, fewer miles driven could mean fewer claims processed through their system. Another risk is just the pace of adoption. How quickly will the big, sometimes slow-moving legacy insurance carriers fully embrace these new digital tools? CCCS depends on that transformation continuing.
And what about the complexity of cars? You mentioned ADS and EVs. Is that purely an opportunity?
It's both, really. It's a growth opportunity because repairing these complex vehicles requires sophisticated diagnostic tools and workflows, which CCCS provides.
Right.
But it's also a challenge. They need to constantly update their systems and data to keep pace with rapidly evolving vehicle technology. Staying ahead is crucial.
Any other risks we should keep in mind?
Well, regulation is always a possibility, especially around using AI for claims decisions. Transparency and fairness concerns could lead to new rules. And cybersecurity. Anytime you have a platform connecting tens of thousands of businesses handling sensitive data, a breach would be incredibly damaging. That's a constant background risk for any company like this.
True. Okay, finally, stock performance and market sentiment. We don't have recent price charts, but things like this secondary offering and the upcoming earnings, they definitely stir the pot, right?
For sure. Events like these create news flow and often lead to volatility as investors digest the information and what it might mean. Sentiment seems generally okay, maybe neutral to positive given their market position, but that high valuation we talked about.
Yeah, the PE.
Right. It means the market needs to see continued strong performance and growth to justify the current price level. Any stumbles could be punished more severely than for a company with a lower valuation.
So a lot riding on that May 6th earnings call then.
A great deal, yes. It's a chance for them to update the market, explain the offering rationale potentially, and set expectations for the coming year.
All right, so let's try and wrap this up. CCC Intelligent Solutions Holdings, CCCS, clearly a major player in that P&C insurance tech space. They seem to be leveraging their position, extending partnerships like with Caliber, focusing on AI and cloud.
Yep. Strategically, they seem well positioned for the industry's modernization push.
But definitely keep an eye on those upcoming Q1 results, May 6th, for a real check on performance and outlook. And that secondary offering is another piece to watch, see how that plays out and what the impact is.
Agreed. Those are the key near-term catalysts, along with just generally tracking how quickly the industry adopts their kinds of solutions.
So for you listening, we definitely recommend watching their official announcements and maybe using your preferred financial platform for, real-time data to get the full picture. What really stands out to you from all this? What questions are still lingering for you? We hope this rundown gave you some valuable perspective on CCCS. If you found this helpful, please do subscribe to the show, give us a like, and maybe leave a comment. We always appreciate hearing from you.